Good morning everyone and welcome to the live stream today on Twitch. We've got a brand new game. It's a visual novel game called Weeping Willow and it's brought to me today by the amazing people at Sometimes You. Check them out guys. This game's set to be released in May. Before we even start, if you're watching me live right now on my Twitch channel like you many people are right now, welcome Jericho, welcome Double D Brookie, welcome Samurai, welcome Propane. Welcome Tiger Wolf, welcome buddy, haven't seen you in a while, thank you for popping by. And the rest of you that didn't say hello but are watching right now. And if you haven't done so already, please feel free to hit that heart icon and drop me a follow. I really do appreciate it. But if you're watching this video back on my YouTube channel as a video replay, a video on demand, whatever you want to call it, you like visual novel games, and if you do, please hit that subscribe button. It is free, F-R-E-E. It takes 1 second, one click of your time to do so. So if you want to say thank you for streaming this game and all the other sponsored games I've been sent to me to stream, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel. That's the best way of doing it. Like my video, help my channel grow. I really do appreciate you all. Come visit me over on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. That's Marbley, M-A-R-B-R-O-L-A-Y. Now, Weeping Willow. Let me tell you what the game's about before we get into it. Weeping Willow is a kinetics visual novel in a gene of a detective story, which takes place in the small medieval town of Unedited. The town was quarantined due to an outbreak of plague in poor neighborhoods. The story begins with a mysterious disappearance of a husband of the main character, Baron Van Wolf. A few days later, he is found in the local parish of a Scarlet Rose Order, but the Baroness claims that she has not recognized her husband. Other people confirm the identity of the imposter, and no one believes her. Because of the plague quarantine, the young Baroness is a captive of her own home and begins to seriously fear for her life. After this, a series of dramatic events unfold that will incredibly change her life. This short story was a delight in players with a fascinating plot tied to intrigues, betrayals, and conspiracies. Okay, once again, the publisher today is Sometimes You. Thank you for sending me the game, Sometimes You. Really do appreciate it. The developer, Technocat Games. This game is due for release on the 3rd of May 2023. It's available for the Nintendo Switch, the PS4, the PS5, the Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X. Today, if you haven't guessed so already, I'm playing today live on my Nintendo Switch OLED model in handheld mode, as we like to show how the game really is. It's the real deal. Okay, let's check out a couple of things before we start. Gallery, as these visual novel games go, we've had unlocked no images yet. Settings. Okay, let's just get straight into it. New game, Weeping Willow, brought to us today by Sometimes You. Okay, so I do apologise if I mispronounce words. I'm just going to go with the flow and make the words up if I don't know them. So, as we normally do with visual novel games, I'll give it my best shot. The fireplace room in the house of the hill was shared by Theodore and Twilight. Burning logs crackled in the heath, breaking the silence in the room. I like the sound of the horse. Jericho, as I said, my friend, 3rd of May 2023, this game will be released for all consoles. So check it out then. But yes, Sometimes You has sent me the game earlier to stream for my fabulous viewers out there so you can see what the game's like. A muffled clatter of hooves came through the street. A female figure who was sitting motionless at the table gave a start, setting aside a copper bowl. She hastily headed to the front door to let a long-awaited guest who, judging by the sound of his footsteps, was already climbing the porch. There was a knock at the door. Okay, so her name's Sophia. Coming! There was a creak of the door bolt. An unpleasant streak of the door's hinges cut the thickened silence of the room. Finally, I've been waiting for you. Come on, Mr. Imperial Investigator. Mrs. Von Wolf, it is most likely that we haven't communicated very often, so you can call me simple by my name. Well, Manfred, you. The girl hesitated, pressing her ginger ears in embarrassment. The investigator noticed it and shook his head knowingly. Sorry guys, I just got a text. I do apologise. Apparently, it will be too unusual for you. Yes, well, let me just put my phone on silent because it's going crazy right now. Yes, Double D Brookie. Damn, people contact me. I swear, every time I stream live, I reckon it's my mates watching me, and they start messaging me and calling me, so it interrupts the stream. I do apologise. That's it. I'm throwing the phone. There we go. It's gone. Gone. Yes, well, you became a baroness quite recently, madam, and you will have to get used under your new status. But if you feel more comfortable, you can call me by my last name. Will it be easier for you? Yes, Mr. Neiman, it will be easier. Never before have I been allowed to refer to purebloods like this. This is all new to me. I understand. Mr. Neiman, did you manage to find my husband? Alas, I cannot please you with anything. But how? How come? We just started searching, and this is not a quick deal, you know. But it has been more than 3 days. The girl lost her temper and shouted, but she shouted at once into secretly. If I were you, I would not be so worried. How can you say that? Believe my experiences, the Baron will soon return to you safe and sound. I have already faced the similar cases more than once. Newlyweds often quarrel, separate for a short time, let the steam off, and then come together again. Give it time and it will work itself out. Yes, we've had our quarrels, like any newlyweds, but I know my Otto. He could not just disappear, you know. He could not. The investigator sighed wearily, threw his hands up and smiled politely. What are you planning to do next? I need to find my husband as soon as possible. He may be in trouble. Do you understand? The Imperial Police are not authorized to catch cheating husbands by the scuff of their heads and forcibly drag them home, Mrs. Von Wolf. Why are you talking to me like that? My people checked out most of the taverns and inns outside the quarantine zone. No traces of the Baron have been found yet, but I assure you he will show up very soon. My Otto is not like this. Start again, guys. My Otto is not like that. Yes, he left after quite a quarrel, but I am sure he has nobody else but me. Well, that's great. Then you have no reason to worry. Are you being so mean to me because of my background? Well, no, of course not. Then why aren't you looking for my husband? Don't yell at me, Mrs. Von Wolf, otherwise I'll leave. I assure you, you're making every effort to find him, but do not forget that the Imperial Police are still engaged in maintaining quarantine for 4 of the 5 districts of the Wilderdorf. Our town is small, but the situation is not easy. With the plague, you know, you do not mess. I hope you understand that. Well, I understand. So what are you doing? What are you going to do next? Jericho, it's a visual novel game. It's like a detective visual novel game set in the medieval times. So it's a bit of a different one. I'm enjoying it so far. I hope you all are as well. My people will continue the search, the circlage gradually knowing as they couldn't have managed to leave this area. The guard's order is not to let anyone out, so the plague would not get there. The girl gasped and sat down on the chair. She made a couple of sips from her cup and covered her face with her palms. Do you always drink that much? Oh, no, of course not. Wonder what she's drinking, eh? Some Kraken rum? Some whiskey? What do you guys reckon? If you're watching me live, let me know what you think she's drinking. I do not sleep a wink like this night. After my Otto went missing, I cannot find a place for myself. The tincture of a Varan root helps me somehow control myself. Samurai says, I think she's having a good old beer. I don't think you'd be sipping a beer, though. You don't sip a beer. I see. Sorry, but I'm not used to seeing noble women drinking alcohol, that's all. Please, stop, Mr. Neiman. Please, do not pretend. I understand why you are asking this. Do you? I myself still haven't fully realized anything, but my Otto, being a pureblood, married me according to your laws. Do you think that I didn't notice your neighbours flee and arrive to the Willow and settle in this house? Purebloods are not used to seeing people like me besides them, unless we are lackeys and servants, say nothing of local rich. They do not even want to know their relatives for the lower cases. Their whole area is fenced like a fortress. That's right, but that is why the plague for the neighbourhood hasn't affected the local people yet. I won't lie to you, Mrs. Van Wolf. Everything you said is quite true. I do not like it when I'm watching you now, but it is because I am not used to it, not because I disapprove. I grew up in a small village west from here, and I see things differently. The situation of the people is unbearable and humiliating, but personally, I'm not going to poke a finger at someone simply because their ears are not in the same places as mine. In a way, I even sympathise with you. And if you are the words since rude to you, do not be offended. This is professional habit, nothing more. Thank you, Mr. Neiman. Tell me, did you often quarrel with your husband lately? Not more than usual. We got married just recently, Mr. Imperial. Oh, Mr. Neiman. Did you write something about his disappearance? Yes, I sent a message to his estate in Riesenberg, but the pigeon came back about an hour ago. Did the message stay sealed? Yes, it lies on the shelf in the wine cabinet. But can you see it for yourself? Could a bird get lost? Although very unlikely, it's not very far. Maybe it is worth trying once more. So you agree that he could have left the town? I doubt it very much, although he is, of course, a wealthy man. Okay, I will order to send a messenger from the neighbourhood frontier post. He will personally make sure that Baron Van Wolf has returned to his old residence. Thanks, thank you. And his friends? We have no mutual friends. My social circle was not suitable for Otto, and his circle, well, you understand. What about his parents? I do not know them. After all, we have been married for a little over 2 months. And Otto himself visited them very rarely. It even seemed to me that he was trying to avoid them. Why? He did not tell me about it, and did not ask. Does it ever occur to you where he could have gone? Sorry guys, clearing the throat. If only I knew, I would have gone there myself at once. But this is not all the necessary. My advice is to wait for him here, and by all means do not leave this estate. If you get any information, immediately notify me through my man, who I put to the house for protection. Protection? Hadvin? Okay, look, he's a knight. The door creaked and there appeared a stocky guard, clad to a full battle gear with a metal clanging. He came closer and straightened out. From the moment you are the disposal of Mrs. Van Wolf? Yes, sir. Give me a second, guys. I'm just adjusting my camera. Seems to be a little bit crooked. There we go. I think it's better. You are responsible for protecting the safety of the entire estate. The errander will bring you several pigeons for the fast communications with me. If necessary, do not make myself clear. Yes, sir. It is not necessary, really. Do not argue. These are dangerous times. Quarantine makes many people nervous, and irritated people often act ugly. And you safely has recently become my personal concern. What are you talking about? The Bongon Master of Werewolf has taken the search for your husband upon his personal control. As I mentioned earlier, the Baron was a very clear, wealthy man. That's what it is. You may go, Hadvin. Yes, sir. That's all he says by the sounds of it. And I ask you not to leave the estate. Your husband may return without warning at any time. If I know anything about an accident or a murder, I will personally inform you. Murder? It happens. I've seen a lot while I'm in service. Are you alone in the house? Yes. Good. The dawn is coming soon. I advise you to eat and take a rest. I can barely eat. I cannot sleep. I cannot eat. You shouldn't be like that. The search went on all night, and it will continue for some time more. There is no need to restrain yourself like this. But he is missing for more than 3 days. That's my fault. My fault. Should have reported his disappearance earlier. How silly I am. How silly. You did everything right, Mrs. Van Worth. Before I arrived here, I reported to the town board. There is no need to worry. Along with it, I also handed over a missing persons report. From now on, you will not be responsible for the depths the Baron could have done in his absence. What depths? What are you talking about? Anything can happen. You share common property. You should wait for the return of your husband right here and I'll take care of the rest. But I have things to do, Baroness. Try to relax and recover your strength. My best regards. I didn't think he'd ever leave. I thought he was going to go on all game. The investigator board bowed and hastily left the house, slamming the door behind him. Sophia walked to the window, watching the retreating guest. The girl sighed heavily and slowly walked to the stairs, leading to the second floor. On her way, she took a bronze cup with her from the table, with her remains of the tincture. The dawn haze slowly closed behind her, plaguing the house on the hill into the silence, broken only by the crackling fire in the heath. At dawn, the front door creaked and a female figure dressed in a Mosnick robe appeared at the doorstep. The uninvited guest looked around in search for the owners, but saw no one. Is there anyone here? There was no answer. The woman walked deeper into the room and looked around. Mrs. Van Worth, are you here? No response. The uninvited guest caught sight of the ceramic jug, which stood nearby. Coming closer, she sniffed. Having caught spicy notes of strong tincture, the woman broke into a wide smile, licking her parched lips. Who you are? What are you doing here? Who you are? That threw me right off then, guys. Sorry. Good heavens. The uninvited guest shuddered the fear and dramatically clutched her heart. Turning to the stairs, she saw her owner of the estate looking at her quizzically from the steps. You scared me, my daughter. Who you are? Should be, who are you? Who you are. Maybe it's a drunk talk. I apologize for the intrusion, my dear. You are the Baroness Van Worth, aren't you? Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. My name is Melanie. Is it Melanie? Melanie Ellend. For the time now, I am the process of the Scarlet Rose Parish in Woodenough. Before me, it was the responsibility of Sister Ashby until the old ages forced her to retire. You must know her quite well. I am sorry, but I don't know her at all. I am new to this town. It's a pity that you arrived here at such a difficult time, Miss for Woodenough. How did you get here? Oh, do not fear of me, my daughter. I was led here by Hadvin, in a parishioner of the temple and very kind young man. Do not get angry with him, please. I dare to disturb you at such an alarming time, but the whole noble image of your missing husband has engraved me to my heart, and I came to pay my respects personally. Baron Van Worth was a true embodiment of kindness and generosity for our humble parish. Sophia snobbed shortly, wiping her tears from her cheek. Blessed in the man who makes donations to the temple. Did you get married in the temple, my daughter? Yes. Oh, this is just wonderful. I miss him so much. I'm so worried, sister. I hope that Otto will soon come back to my arms, my sweetheart. Sophia sobbed again, holding back her tears. It was love at first sight. As soon as we saw each other, we realized that we were destined to be together. The Baroness smiled politely and nodded knowingly. This is wonderful, my daughter, truly wonderful. We got married in a small mountain chapel near Mittenwald. I remember that day. It was Wednesday. We were alone in the temple, only me and Otto, and two bared vagabonds or witnesses. Oh, it was so beautiful. Do not cry, my daughter. I understand you perfectly. Sophia nodded and stepped aside. She wiped her tears, came up to the table and poured a little bit more tincture from her jug into the cup. Having caught the investigated gaze of Baroness, the girl nodded politely, inviting her to sit down. Have a drink with me, Sister Ellend. I wouldn't say no, my daughter. Sure, here you are. With a cautious bow, the Baroness took the goblet which was offered to her. Might have to get a drink soon, some quality H2O. I won't be a second. I'll keep going, and in a second I'll get a drink. Here's to the good health of Baron Van Wolf. I hope that very soon he will of the gods of help him return safe and sound. I do hope that very soon my Otto will be here again. I don't even know what I would do without him. I just don't know. Once again, guys, this game is brought to me today by the amazing people at Sometimes You. Check them out, Sometimes You. Weeping Willow, this game's called, playing today on the Nintendo Switch, but it's also available for the Xbox, PlayStation, PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, due for release on the 3rd of May 2023. Check it out, guys. Check it out. Do you still love Mr. Van Wolf, my daughter? With all my heart. We were so happy together. After the wedding, we went on a small honeymoon trip to Honey Valley, sorry. I never left my home village, you see. Otto opened the whole world for me. Then he got his estate in payment for some kind of debt deal, and without any hesitation, we decided to start a new life by moving here. At first, everything was just wonderful, and then something happened to him, and we began to fight for nothing. We quarreled and ricksued. We ricksued and quarreled again. After another quarrel, he hesitated, collected some of his stuff, and left home. This is my fault, Sister Eled. He's so nice. I fear the worst. My daughter, your grief is very sincere. Your grief is very sincere, and I sympathize with you all my heart. But tell me, are you ready to accept the return of your husband without shouting and reapproaching? How can you? Of course. If only he would come back to me, I would forgive everything, anything. If only he would come back. The prioress smiled broadly, hastily finished off her contents of her cup, and put it on the table. Then rejoice, my daughter. I have good news for you. Your faithful husband is found. What? After the mass in the parish, I noticed a man devoting praying at the altar. That was your husband, Baron Von Wolf. Yes, sweetheart, it was him. The Baron sincerely confessed and sincerely repeated of his deeds. He said he loved you very much. He was afraid to go back home, fearing that you would not be able to forgive him. It came to be. It can, my daughter, it can. The peeress went to the front door and opened it up, courteously inviting the person standing behind her to enter. A handsome man walked through the door, throwing a small bundle with him over the floor, on his things on the floor. He smiled up and looked into the eyes of the frustrated girl. Sweetheart, please forgive me. Oh. Sophia sighed, tilted her glass and collapsed on the floor, losing consciousness. My daughter, what's wrong with you? Sophia, breathe! Breathe! Looks like she's coming around. Thanks goodness. My angel, thank you for forgiving me. I don't know what came over me. My day was really crazy. She still feels uneasy. Baron, bring her some water. Hurry. Water? Yes, of course. My daughter, you still feel bad? Do you have perfumes in the house? Sophia moaned and nodded yes. Where are they? Oh, on the top shelf. Wine cabinet. The prioress nodded in response and hastily withdrew in the indicated direction. Soon she returned to the small malt bottle in her hands. Sprinkled some perfume on her palm. Sister Eled began to rub the odours liquids into the skin of the girl's chest in order to bring her back. Sophia moaned quietly without regaining consciousness. The prioress moistened her palms with perfume and began to rub them over the cheeks of the stunned Baroness. Oh, thank goodness she came to her senses. Rejoice, my daughter, your Otto is back. This is not my husband. I do not understand. What are you saying? Sister, I've brought you some water. Oh, we've got some tense music in the background there, guys. Yes, we do. Hey, Donkey Kong, welcome to the stream, my friend. Sorry I didn't see you there earlier. I was too busy reading. Welcome. Thank you for the lurk. Thank you for the raid. All those people you brought across. Thank you. Welcome to my channel. My name is Marbrolay, Marbrolay. And if you feel like following me, please feel free to hit that heart icon on the Twitch channel right now and drop me a follow. If not, please click the link in my chat. That takes you to my YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. It is free. And I do appreciate you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Back to the game. This game's called The Weeping Willow. Brought to me today by Sometimes You. Yes, that's correct. Sometimes You. Check them out, guys. Sophia immediately jumped to her feet at the sight of the person appeared in the room. She recoiled to the side. Who are you? My angel, are you alright? Let me... Get away from me! My daughter, you promised me that you should not shout. This is not my husband. How is it not your husband? How can it be? I have never seen him before. Darling, calm down, please. Everything will be fine. Do not come closer. My daughter. It's okay, Sister OLED. My wife and I needed to talk face to face, and I'll figure it out. The young man put a jug of water on the table, took out a heavy leather wallet from his inside pocket and stretched it out into the primus. The gods will not forget your act, Sister OLED, and I will remember it forever, too. The Piranha's face lit up. She smiled, gratefully accepted a generous donation from the hands of the benefactor, and bowing, backed away towards the exit. Sister OLED, where are you going? I do not know this man. Take him back! My daughter, you promised not to make a scenes. Your husband is home. I have fulfilled my mission, and your rest is totally your own business. He is an imposter. Pull yourself together. This Piranha snorted, hiding her purse, clicking the coins in the folds of her clothes. Get him out of here. My angel, calm down, please. Let's talk about it. Sophia pushed away the man who had reached out to her and ran out to the dining room, heading to the living room. They got a decent house, don't they? If you check in the background, they got a nice grand staircase. The house itself is quite good. Obviously, he was a rich man. They did say he was a rich man, so she scored well. Hadvin! The front door opened and a guard ran into the room, holding his hands on his hilt and the sword. What happened, Mrs. Van Wolf? It's all right, Hadvin. Mistress feels bad. Honey, let's just talk calmly. I don't know this man. Do not let him come too near me. What's the matter, honey? It's me, your Otto. My daughter, sit down. You need to come to your senses. Hadvin, this is an imposter. This is not my husband. Pyranus? I don't understand what is going on. For some reason, Mistress do not recognize her husband. He is not my husband. Sir, can I have a look at your name identification? Nonsense, honey. I understand that you're still mad at me. Please, let's talk. Please, can I see your identification? What the hell? This is my house. My appearance knows me. What else do you want? Let's not complicate things. Just show your name just show your name identification and we'll figure it out. Damn, okay, good. In the moment. The man hastily proceeded to the bundle lying on the floor to the next room and began to untie it. After a couple of minutes, he took out a scroll tied with a scarlet ribbon and handed it to the guard. Here you are. Hadvin took the paper, unfolded it and began to read aloud. This bearer of this document is Baron Otto Van Wolf. He owns the land and personal estate in this town, wood enough located. What? Signed personally by the Barangay Master, Madame. I recognize this print of his family ring. It looks genuine. It can't be. Any documents can be forged. I'm telling you, whatever document this man shows you here, he is not my husband. You have not yet come around, my daughter. Please, sit down, drink some water. I'm telling you, I have never seen this man before. Honey, leave these jokes. It's not at all funny. Leave me alone. Get out! Okay, calm down, please. Tell me, you took the pills that your doctor prescribed to you, didn't you? What nonsense, leave my house, this instant. Hadvin, get this person out of it, I'm begging you. Let us all calm down, gentlemen. We'll work this all out. There's nothing to work out. My wife is suffering a health complication. This has already happened during our honeymoon trip to Honey Valley. How do you know that? I was there with my husband. Honey, please calm down. Now I'll bring your medicine so you can sleep, and I will laugh this situation together afterwards. But first, you need to rest. Get away from me. What on earth is it? Oh, come on, just like the last time. One morning I found her in the similar condition. She didn't recognize me and I was talking nonsense. Only by the end of the day she finally recognized her Otto to me. After and considered the healings of the capital, I thought the medicines were happening, but it's a lie. You're lying! Sister Ellard, it looks like I need some more of your help. I came to Wedenov's not so long ago, and I don't really know anyone. Of course, Mr. Van Wolf. We surely bring your wife to the normal estate. The guys will help you, you see. I'd certainly make it worth your while. There really is no end to your ignorance. This is beyond our limits. Hadford, do something! Do not worry. I sent a pigeon to investigate as soon as Sister Allard appeared. Soon he will be here, and everything will immediately fall into place. You didn't hear that? Soon the investigator will save me from you? Oh, he knows everything, and you are outrageously adventure. Will you not unpunished? Poor Sophia. Let's call the healer. He will examine you, and he will help you. I understand you. You are a robbing single woman, hiding behind the mess of the plague quarantine bastard. What are you talking about, Sophia? Let's all calm down. You're right. Unnecessary stress is harmful for my wife now. I am not your wife. Okay, honey. As you say, you just not worry. You will take your medicine and you will sleep. And in the morning, the sun will shine again and you will forget it all, like a terrible dream. You're just making me wonder. Why? The Imperial investigator is on his way, and you will see here, and you will stay surprisingly calm. I'm worried only about you, my love. What are you holding for me? Only a happier life, dear. This is all I want. I don't understand. What are you hoping for? But you do not count on me? Neither of my jewelry, nor my property, and certainly not my money? You wanted to stay my money? Who were you before we met? When we got married, I had nothing. Not a single copper coin. Baron? Okay, let's not be pretty, my dear. What's mine is yours. The main thing now is to make you feel better. That's it. That's what it is. You described to get your hands on my husband's fortune, taking advantage of his absence. Scoundrel! Sophia grabbed the bottle that was on the closet shelf and threw it at the rival with all her might. He dutifully stepped aside, avoiding the shot. The bottle flew past and shattered against the doorstep post. At the very moment, an Imperial investigator entered the house. On that note, guys, I'm just going to quickly go and get a drink. I'll be back in just a jiffy. Yeah, won't be a second. Okay everyone, I am back. Sorry about that. I had to get some quality H2O. Hopefully my mouth is nice and wet and whistly now so I can talk a little bit clearer. What is going on here? Oh, please forgive me. Hadvin, damn it. What do you leave you here for? Mr. Investigator, out. I have nothing to do with it. I swear. Here are the papers of Baron Van Wolf, Mr. The investigator took a carefully folded letter from the guard and shouted again. I said out! Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Neyman helped me, and I know the man with a chilling composure is impostor himself on me as my husband. I am Baron Otto Van Wolf. I'm coming home, and I find here appropriately the documents of my husband. Arrest him. Honey, calm down. I beg you. How many times? Silence. Silence accompanied the room for a moment. The investigator analysed the situation and turned to the coroner standing nearby. Sister, I had the honour of meeting you earlier. Who are you? My name is Melanie Elliott. Mr. Investigator, I am the new parish of the Scarlet Rose Parish in Woodenough. Manfred paused for a moment, considering what he had just heard. Then he quickly ran over to the papers he got from the guard noble and addressed the rest of the people in the room. Now, I am listening to you, Mr. Neyman. My dear, you put yourself and me in an awkward position. Shut up, please. Do not dare call me my dear. You are not my husband. Well, wait, Mr. Van Wolf. Your husband ran away, right? And where you returned, it was your not your husband. What do you mean by that? He is not my husband. Why? Because he is not. Will you ever stop, Sophia? Quiet! I must ask you not to forget yourself. You are talking to the Baron. Sister, what was it? Sister Ellard, I want you to talk to Mrs. Van Wolf privately. Leave us, please. What? Baron, I apologize, but I must also ask you to retreat to the other room. Believe me, this is the way we will end up with this mass mess sooner. This is nonsense. Baron, I beg of you. All right, but don't be too long. My wife is not feeling well. There is no need to make it her worry. Mr. Van Wolf, let's wait to the fireplace room. If you do not mind, there is a wonderful tincture there. We will help you calm your nerves. The Baron sighed heavily, threw up his hands and left. Sister Ellard followed him, occasionally rattling with the coins hidden in the folds of her clothes. Well, madam, let's start over. How did it all begin? I got married this summer. A wonderful, kind-hearted man. Have I already told you all this? And this wonderful, kindest man left you, despite all your delights of a happy family life. Sophia shrugged her shoulders, confused, and nodded. And then he came back. But you do not want him to accept him, right? No, it's not like that at all. The man is not my husband, you see. He is not Otto Van Wolf. But this man, as I see it, is ready to prove at the price that he is actually your husband. Sophia practically threw her hands up, not knowing what to answer to the investigator. It turns out quite interesting. See, sir, Mr. Neyman, it's some big scam. I don't know how to describe it in words. He wants to get my money. Is that so? Are you so rich? Me? No, of course not. I am from a poor family, Mr. Neyman. So, is your husband's money? Yes. Although things were not going very well with him lately, partly because of this, we decided to move to this very house. To me, guys, the house looks like a mansion in the background there. So your husband didn't keep big money in the house? No. I thought it was a really wealthy man. But it is so. More precisely, it was. Now he's going through a difficult time. Well, maybe you are waiting for some kind of legacy. How? No, at least not on my side. All my relatives are rather poor. Maybe there's some valuable real estate. Only this house. Yeah, I told you, the house is huge. Otto has also an old manor in Reisenberg, but it needs some serious repair. It is unlikely that it would be possible to gain a lot for it. Hey, Scarlet248, welcome to the stream, girl. Welcome. Thank you for popping by. Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Weeping Willow we're playing. It's a visual novel game, as you can probably tell. I'm reading a lot, and it's quite interesting. It's a detective-style visual novel game. So it's quite a good one. Interesting in the medieval times. Wait a minute. Otto mentioned something about his gravely ill father. His manor was somewhere not very far, but this didn't keep in touch for long. So I don't know the details. It gets released in May the 3rd this year. Yeah. It's available for the PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, and obviously I'm playing on the Nintendo Switch. So yeah, Switch as well, baby. Are you married with the right common ownership of the property? I'm not confusing anything. Yes, this is Otto's personal wish, Mr. Neiman. All this is the papers that were provided to the town board when he moved to the wilderness. Yes, that's it. Sophia glanced and rounded her eyes with fear. So that's what it is planning. He wants to declare himself my husband and then get rid of me in some kind of accident. Good gods, what am I going to do? And will your real husband allow this to happen? Of course not. That's why I should find him as soon as possible. Help me, please. I'm begging you. And what if you are fooling me? I beg you, Mr. Neiman, you are not my only hope. You are my only hope. I do not know anyone in this town. I have no one else to ask. Sophia covered her face with her hands and wept bitterly. What about the Prioress? What do you mean? Have you met her until today? No, but your man knows her. Hadvin. He let her in while we were gone. Well, wait for me here. The investigator slowly walked towards the front door, slightly opened it and gestured for the guard behind it to come closer. Exchanging a few words with his subordinate, Manfred nodded, closed the door and went back to the living room. Hadvin confirmed the identity of Sister Ellard, Baroness. He personally met her in the town gates when she arrived at Woodenough and took her papers from the Supreme Esperate of the town board. Think I got that word wrong. I will examine these documents myself at the earliest opportunity, and I will also talk to the previous Pyrenees. Fortunately, she is still in the town because of the quarantine. Do you think Sister Ellis could be involved in all this? I do not think anything yet, but I need to check it out. I don't even know how to thank you. You are so good to me. Thanks. Sophia wiped a tear from her cheek, sobbed and took a deep breath, trying to control herself. Sister Ellard, can I have you for a minute? Do you call me, Mr. Investigator? Now, I would like to hear your version of the latest events. Yes, of course, my son. Where shall I start? You bought the Baron this morning. Where did you meet him? In the parish of the Scarlet Rose. My son, Baron Van Wolf, wanted to return home and return to me for help. He believed that the Baroness would not forgive him and asked for me to act as a peacemaker in the current delicate situation. I see what happened next. To meet the Baron's expectation, I brought him here. Mrs. Van Wolf did not recognize her husband, which is why they were worried at the moment. At first, I was puzzled, but then I realized that the Baroness was not in the best health and well. The abscess spread from my hands meaningfully, trying to choose the right words. Do you think she is out of her mind? Have mercy, Mr. Investigator. I am only a humble parent of a modest parish, and I cannot draw such conclusions. But still, she threatened and tried to banish him. The Baron is totally desperate. Okay, so you are sure that the man who is now next in the room is really her husband of the Mrs. Van Wolf? There is no doubt about that. I met him immediately after the arrival in the Van Wolf. He made a large donation to the temple and proved himself as a very wealthy man. It's a lie! Mrs. Van Wolf, please calm down. The last thing I need to know is your emotions. Instead, I need facts. To prove my words, I can bring it to at least a dozen witnesses, Mr. Investigator. I see, Baroness, who saw your husband at the first day of the arrival at Willow. We came here about 2 weeks ago. I got the keys from the house from our local shopkeeper while Otto stayed in the carriage. He was unwell at that time. Then maybe the coachman can identify him. Maybe, but he left the town before the quarantine was announced. So, Mr. Neiman, I can bring you hundreds of witnesses in Honey Valley. Maybe, but for this you will need to get sanction from the Bungermaster of Woodenough, and he will not give you until the epidemic is neighborhood quarantine subsides. Sister Ellard, invite Baron Van Wolf, please. Yes, sir, at once. Shortly, the Baron walked slowly to the room. He was rubbing his palms, trying to warm them. It's getting dark and it's getting chilly. Sister Ellen, put some logs on the fire, if you please. They are right beside the fireplace in the dining room. Of course, Mr. Van Wolf, no problem. You can splash here a little alcohol, which is on the bottom shelf of the corner cabinet, so the fire can break out quickly. And on your way back, bring us a little drink to warm up. You can also take the sweet tincture for yourself and my wife, and the bottle of the fortified wine for the investigator and myself. It is in the chest near the fireplace. In the chest? Yes. The taste of wine spoils in the direct sunlight, so we keep it in there. So he kind of knows everything, but that's not saying that while he was in that living room, he was investigating and looking for clues to say to what he had to say next. So I don't know what to believe at the moment with this game. If it's the real guy or she's off her head, or I'm not too sure. But it's intriguing story so far. Hope you guys are enjoying it. You know the house quite well. Why wouldn't I? Once again, the investigator twisted in his hands of the Baron's name, identification, and carefully looked at the signature and the print of the bottom of the document. It looks genuine. Why the foolish doubts? After all, you are capable of recognizing the handwriting and the signature of the Burgomaster, aren't you? The messenger delivered a letter, Mr. Investigator. A letter? A letter? Where from? I cannot know. It arrived in the frontier post, and then it was passed on along with the food supplies. Give it to me. You can go. Yes, sir. Manfred looked at the wax seal and twisted the scroll, studying it. I hope no one minded if I open it. Of course not. Open it. Mrs. Van Wolf? Sophia nodded affectionately, and Manfred broke the wax seal unceremoniously, unrolled the scroll and began to study its contents. Here is your wine, Mr. Van Wolf. Is everything all right? A letter has been delivered, Sister Ellen. Mr. Investigator was about to read it out to us. Were you not, Mr. Investigator? What is it? I'm afraid I have bad news, Mr. Van Wolf. Your father died unexpectedly last week. Sophia rounded her eyes, gasped, and covered her mouth with her hands. You have my deepest sympathies, Baron. This is a big loss. My father and I didn't get along very well lately. All the same, it is necessary to serve the oracle mass for him, my son. Perhaps you are right, sister. I will pay the expenses, but at least in the modest, please. The Paris nodded knowingly. The letter came from the Burgomaster of the town where the deceased lived. Mr. Van Wolf, you are pleased to remind me of his name? This has gone beyond and bounds. Did I ask something offensive? This whole situation is already more than offensive. He simply doesn't know. I will complain, Mr. Investigator. Will you see first of all? I will go for the Burgomaster of Woodenough and you will see who is who. Mr. Van Wolf, would you like if I ask your husband about something? Enough questions. I am fed up with this farce. Why, after all, I cannot ask anything which you wouldn't know if you really were my Otto. I am sick and tired of it. Okay, all right, my love. Ask anything that makes you feel better. But don't be too strict. After everything that has happened, I could have forgotten about a thing or two. Do not rush to make excuses in advance, Baron, mistress. Where do we get married? In a small mountain chapel not far from here. What was the day of the week? Wednesday. What was the name of the ship that we took to go on our honeymoon? You're confusing something, my love. We hired a carriage. Where did we go? I took you to Honey Valley, where we spent 5 unforgettable days. Wow! Had to throw that in there, guys. Your questions have already been bored everyone, dear. Not at all, Baron. Ask. Mr. Van Wolf, ask. What is my father's name? Honey, I don't remember. You haven't introduced us yet. But still, I told this to my Otto. I don't remember, really. My real husband would not forget it. Have repeatedly mentioned him of our conversations. Baron? Oh yes, his name is Bruno. And the last name? What is his last name? If I'm not mistaken, your father comes from a line of bakers, and his last name is Becker. How did you... Is their answer correct? Yes, but... Sorry guys, I've got a bug flying around the screen. Does it make any sense to continue, Mrs. Van Wolf? One more question. I've got one more question. Okay, my dear, ask. There is only one mole on my body. Where is it located? Well, I get a bit lewd now. Mole? I got you, rogue. Mr. Van Wolf, you don't know your answer to this question. You've been married for more than 2 months? Oh yeah, the mole, sure. It's on your right breast, my love. How could I have forgotten about it? What? But how? How did you? Is something wrong, dear? Well, of course, it was she who told him. Pyranus. Yes, she rubbed me with perfume when I lost consciousness and apparently noticed the mole. These people are on the same side. I think that is time to end this conversation, Mr. Investigator. You are right, Baron. I've heard everything I wanted. Then please, leave my estate. My wife needs to rest, and I would like to eat my dinner now. Of course, I will visit you tomorrow morning, if you don't mind. As you wish. My regards. Will you leave me alone? The Pyranus took a little paper sachet from her small pocket and handed it to the Baroness. Drink this before you go to bed, my daughter. This is a sleeping pill. It will help you sleep well, and you do not forget to take your medication. I don't take any medicines. Do you always carry sleeping pills with your sister? Of course, sometimes Pyranus come to me excited, in addition to his spiritual torturement. There's also suffer physical pains, and good sleep always helps to ease the suffering. They will poison me! What do you mean? The powder is completely harmless. Honey, calm down, please. I cured the last time. I will cure you again, you now. Has this already happened? Yes, in Honey Valley. It's a lie. I see. Well, maybe tomorrow you can get to recognize your husband, Mrs. Van Wolf. Goodbye. You forget to give me a letter. Oh yes, of course, here you are. Thank you, and can you keep my name identification for now? Return it tomorrow when you verify its authenticity. Thank you. Is there anything more questions? Then I don't dare delay you anymore, Mr. Investigator. And as for my compliment of the Burgomaster, you can relax. I've changed my mind for now. Very much obliged. Sophia ran up to Manfred, dragged him by the hand to the side, and whispered in his ear. Mr. Naaman, help me, please. I'm trapped. You know, by morning they would do anything to get rid of me. If they are not really the ones that claim to be, then getting rid of you the first night will be the stupid and very suspicious. Lock yourself in the room and wait until morning. I will visit you first thing tomorrow, but at the moment my hands are tied. But I don't like to take my leave now, ladies and gentlemen, till tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Mr. Investigator. Manfred turned and walked steadily towards the exit, closing the creaking door behind him. Sophia looked out the window. The investigator was giving some instructions to Hedvig while checking the fastening of his horse saddle. The girl really hoped that Manfred would return, but every moment this hope melted, giving way to fear. Finally, the nightmare came to an end. Honey, how are you feeling? Do not come near me. Okay, calm down. It doesn't matter. Now you need peace and quiet, my angel. The Pyranus slowly retreated to the next room. The Baron approached one of the cabinets and started to fill the clay cup with the contents of one of the jars standing there. Sophia looked around and peeked out the corner of her eye that was slipping the contents of Sister Ellen's sachet into the cup. My angel, drink it before you go to bed. This is your favorite tincture. It will help you. It will help you relax. Sophia looked out the window, behind which the investigator was still talking to the guard, sighed and took the drink offered to her. I do not like my tincture without a mint leaf at the bottom. Of course, how could I forget? Just a minute, I'll get it. The Baron went to the fireplace room. Having missed the Penrith who returned to the living room, she looked a little puzzled. My daughter, I apologize, but I have to say goodbye to you. It is necessary to arrange a requiem mass for your husband's father. Are you all right, Sister Elliot? Yes, though not quite. It is not important now. How are you feeling? I don't know, sister. Everything is foggy. I understand. I will offer a prayer for my health of the evening mass, and by morning your condition will definitely improve. You will see. don't want to be freshened up with the temperature before leaving, Sister Elliot. Oh, you are so kind, my daughter. You are the kindest and generous and of a faithful husband. Thank you. With the trembling hand, Sophia handed over the clay cup to the Pyrenees, and the latter politely nodded in appreciation and drank a few sips from it. Honey, I've brought the mint for you. Milena, no. What happened? Sophia, did you give your cup? Sophia nodded and stepped aside intensely when the figure of the princess began to sink. Sister Ella doubled over and dropping the cup to the floor, clutched her stomach and breathing increased, her face twisted into a grimace of pain. The woman wheezed, her body bent in painful convulsions, and she fell heavily to the floor. No! Sophia screamed and ran out the living room while the Baron stood in the daze. Help, Manfred, help! The front door opened and the Imperial investigator burst into the room. He tried to poison me. I told you he would. What? He added poison into the tincture, but the Pyrenees drank my tincture and she is there, in the living room. Hadford blocked the exit. No one let anyone in or out. Yes, sir. What happened? Who screamed? The investigator briefly examined the room, but found nobody. Stray, where are you, Baron? Where is Sister Ellard? She left right after you. What's going on? Mrs. Van Wolf, well, where is your Pyrenees? She was there, lying on the floor with no signs of life. Here, where are you now? At this very spot. Honey, did you scream? What happened? What did you do here? You bastard! To whom? Where did you hide her body? You murderer! Murderer! What are you talking about, Mr. Investigator? What is it all about? Hadvin? Search the house quick. Hadvin nodded and began searching the living room, then hastily retreated to the fireplace room, continuing his search there. What the hell is going on here? Mr. Van Wolf, where were you when they heard the scream? I was in the room over there at the east. I was trying to collect my thoughts and everything that happened. Were you alone in this room? No, my wife was here too. She was drinking her tincture to calm down. I moved away and not irritate her. I looked out the window and then I heard a scream from the living room. Can everyone explain what happened? There is no one else in the house, Mr. Investigator. Did you look up the second floor? Positive. Return to your post, Hadvin. Mr. Naaman, the body was here. I swear the imposter did something too. What is this all about, honey? Stop embarrassing me. This is beyond all boundaries. I'm already sick and tired of all this. It's time to finish this farce. I promise you that I will get to the bottom of this in less than 2 days of all behind bars. I bid you goodbye. The investigator hurried away without listening to anything else. As he stepped out to slam the door, jumped on his horse and spurred to the road away. Honey, let me bring. Get out, leave me alone. The Baron stepped aside heavily, nodded knowingly and leaving the living room without saying a word. Sophia heard him coming up the stairs, only with the bedroom door closed behind him. She slumped down on her knees and wept bitterly. A few hours later. Sophia was still in the living room, deep in thought. Honey, are you going to sleep? If you want, I will sleep on the first floor. Sophia did not respond. She was sitting on the beach of the wall and a tired look on her eyes of her uninvited guest. Apparently, this means no. Well, it will be on your way, my angel. Then at least drink your medicine. You will feel better. Sophia did not answer. She turned away, making it clear that she did not want to continue this conversation. I will put the medicine on the table in the dining room. Please, take it. If not for me, for at least for yourself. I will leave you a blanket. The night promises to be cold. Again, no answer. But better come up, dear, because I'll be waiting for you. No answer. The Baron sighed and took a couple of steps back. Then he turned and walked away, leaving the girl alone with her thoughts. Sophia covered her face with her hands and started to cry quietly. And on that note, guys, we're going to end the stream now. As I said, I don't want to wreck the game for you. We've played for about an hour now and streamed it for about an hour live on my Twitch channel. So if you want to find out what happens in the rest of the game, then I suggest buying this game on the 3rd of May 2023 when it comes released for the Nintendo Switch, the PS4, the PS5, the Xbox One, and Xbox Series S and X. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. I certainly did. This game, Weeping Willow, brought to me today by the amazing people at Sometimes You. Sometimes You. Check them out, guys. It's a very interesting visual novel game. I really enjoyed this one. I love the background, the art and background. Even though the images are not that many, it's very well done. And it's got some animated textures in the background of the fireplaces and the sounds of the horse and stuff like that. The whole game, the soundtrack in the background is brilliant. The writing's pretty much being in medieval times. A couple of the words are a bit confusing, but overall it's quite an easy visual novel to read, pick up and go. So if you're new to visual novel games, this would be a great start for you guys. But if you're an experienced, long-serving visual novel gamer, then this is also a nice game to pick up and sit down and read and play at your leisure. Out of 10, I'm going to give this game, I really enjoy it, so I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. The Weeping Willow, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, it really deserves that. I really like the background music, it's calming, but then it picks up, as you noticed before, it really starts picking up and getting into the things, really adds to the feel of the game as well. So yeah, good, solid 8 out of 10. If you watch me live right now on my Twitch channel and you enjoy what you see, if you like visual novel games, or you just like games in general, please guys, hit that subscription button. It is free, FREE. And takes 1 second, one click of your time. Yeah, hit that heart icon on Twitch and then on my YouTube channel, subscribe to my channel and like the videos. No pressure, you don't have to do it, but if you want to say thank you for doing this and if you also want to support my channel and help it grow, then please guys, subscribe to my channel. Come visit me over on Twitch, Twitter and YouTube so you can see what's happening when I'm going live next or what I'm doing next. That's Marbrolay, Marbrolay. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone for coming past this live stream today on Twitch. Thank you. Make sure you take care of yourselves and ones you love. Don't forget to feed your pets. If you've got a dog, say hi to your dog for me. And remember, guys, you're perfect just the way you are. Unless you want to change, then change. Just be you, do you, and you'll be fine. Until next time, guys, this has been Sometimes You, displaying Weeping Willow. Thank you for watching, and bye for now. Ta-da!